Here's John Hugh MacKenzie Housing Co-op. We're here for their 20th anniversary party. It's a foggy afternoon in Halifax in September. John Hugh MacKenzie Housing Co-op is a 5-story building in the South End of Halifax. It's built around the central atrium. Very nice for meetings and events like this. Lots of food for this event. Hard to believe it's been 20 years. I used to work for this organization. I have a nice little office here too. Actually, I just discovered a model of the building. This is what it looks like when you can see it without the fog. Each apartment has a nice terrace balcony.
Thank you, Tom. Anniversary. So, having said that, we also have 4 members who have been here for 20 years as well. And we have 2 of them seated with us, and one who may not be able to attend, and one who is coming. So, anyway, that it's kind of a...
As chair of the board of directors, and this is a very happy occasion that we're meeting tonight, and so we hope that everybody just has a wonderful time. There are some invited guests who have not arrived yet. Unfortunately, guests and ladies and gentlemen and members of the co-op. And we hope that this will be a very, very pleasant evening. I want to take this opportunity on behalf of the board of directors to thank the committee. The committee that has planned this event for you has done marvelous graduates, or those that will be given recognition. I guess your graduates after 20 years. For those that will be given recognition while I'm here, I want to, I guess we say continue on. Some of you are still very active. So with that, I'm not going to have anything further to say other than welcome and thank you for your attendance, and please enjoy yourself and in this event that the chair and the members of the anniversary committee have put on.
Proud Scotsman, obviously. And that came through actually in a lot of his accomplishments in his life. And the main thing that that seems pertinent to say is that he was always plugging hard to lead people. The ordinary person, especially rural communities, really was his passion, I would say. That word didn't exist when he was born in 1906, actually. Those who, really worked hard. And his interest grew as he matured and entered university, as few people didn't. In those days, he was one of the few who went to St. Beck's in Antigonish and graduated with 3 women in the class. I just have to say this part. He showed some sense of humor from what I understand, too. All right, so he was born in the early 1900s, educated in the mid-20s. So what we have to say about women, I just can't pass it on, because there's so many of us here today who are women and who do lead and take a more active role. Anyway, he laughed because he said he wouldn't believe how it was. In his class, of a few graduates, there were 3 women only.
Others in particular. So, given that said, he was a driving force to get affordable housing for the aging, for seniors, for those who are just getting older and getting on in life. So, as chair of that committee, he presented a letter called On Concern for the Aging.
And that's a quote from the article. Oh yes. He said, "There's a terrible need for housing for seniors. A lot of people may have the old age pension to live on, and when you pay $500 or $600 a month for rent, you haven't got very much money left. He says he had no regrets about his education, about spending his career rather in education, and for all things that were new and modern, he thought that these innovations were wonderful. And he just said that, oh yeah, this is what I wanted to say, that if he were in the 1980s, which is when he did pass away actually, he had said when this article was written, about 2 years before he did pass away with all of his legacies behind, he said that he would be considered today, meaning the 1880s, too much of a rebel. And he said that with a bit of a twinkle in his eye, because he enjoyed his career so much and he enjoyed what he did so much. And in any case, it was a pleasure to give just a little information about this man who accomplished so much for so many people and really had everybody's best interest at heart. So thanks, and hope you have a good night.
Represent and serve our members. And we are the National Association of Housing Co-ops, just like yours. CHF Canada works very hard to ensure the strength and stability of Canadian housing co-ops. And I don't know if you're all aware, but I'm sure you are, because of your strong board, that this is the International Year of Cooperatives. And I'm going to present this. The colors of this rainbow flag include all the colors of the flags of the world. Each color symbolizes harmony and universal oneness of all the people. Congratulations.
To the beginning of the clock, Mary Izzard goes back to the founding of the board. Ron, if you would like to stand up, because you were part of what our cooperative will be, and we have responsibility to each other to make it good. So, having said that, Grace is going to do the closing. Do you want me to take my hand?
To our invited guests and members for joining us in the evening of John Hugh MacKenzie Co-op. We're celebrating our 20th anniversary. The Sharp brand, who was able to give us the structural repair work on the building. And I wanted to say thank you to Tom Waters for video the evening's events, for the buffet and refreshments, and to stay on in the evening and have fun.
These ladies are 20-year members too. They joined the first year the co-op was open.
And we also had, who's passed on, Barbara McLaughlin, who was also a very important member of the founding board. She worked for a couple of years before we even really got off the ground, and then wasn't able to move in, so that was kind of ironic. I had a couple of memories about John Hugh. One, I don't think you mentioned, Carol, he was born on Christmas Island. And I always remember that. And he was a very, very gentle man, but also very determined. And he phoned me a couple of days before he died. And by then, it was, I think, 80, maybe, I'm not sure, because what year do sleep years come on? 88? Well, I better pick this up, because usually I was so busy I didn't have time for just casual conversations. Anyway, I picked up the phone, and he just said, I'm just calling to check in. I want you to keep up the good work. And because that group had been going on for years trying to get a co-op, years and years, and the Halifax Seniors Housing Society which was a nonprofit organization also dedicated to getting housing for seniors in her own co-op. And John Hugh died on February the 29th, 1988. I think he did that on purpose as a joke, partly so that Mamie would not have to go through the anniversary of his death every year. We're all working together, and it's wonderful to see. And I do hope that you know, the co-op housing movement will live on in a real way, so that people do have secure, affordable housing. So thank you very much for inviting me, and I look forward to chatting while we have supper.
Remember what you did?
I did the office work, and
Yes.
I would come here.
Right, I remember now.
The food serving has begun.
Uh-huh.